Boom! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 27 of the 2024 challenge. We got 4 more days left, 27 of 31. Hope you guys are doing great. I am back home. My mastermind was amazing. Welcome to everyone watching on the replay. If you're watching on the replay, you can fast forward to about the 5-minute mark. That's when we'll get started. How are you guys enjoying these lives? I want to know. Should we keep going? I definitely want to do something more on my fan pages and my stuff. So maybe not every day, but possibly once a week. What would you guys like to do? Maybe have some special guests on Yin Yang. Maybe have some of y'all on like Yin Yang and kind of be inspirational. What do you guys think? This is going to be a short one today. I don't know. I always say that. Lori Bloom, lives forever. No, can't do that. I'm on 1,428 today in my private paid group. So Colleen Brown's in my private paid group. Sarah Elizabeth used to be, and then she outgrew it. That's okay. Good morning, Christina Whitaker. Carmen Jones is watching on YouTube. I think Colleen you should come talk about your new book, girl. I'll be proud of you. Elle Kenton, good morning. Shelly Smith, how are you? I don't know, Sarah. Somebody told me I need to increase the cost. I was like, really? Somerset, good morning. It is beautiful out there in Somerset. Awesome. Okay. All right. David Wicklin, buenos dias. Good morning to you. Manuel Leschis watching in Canada. Everything's always working out for Dr. V. We usually have about 100 people in here, so hit the share button, please. Hit the like button, tag some people. I don't know if you can share in YouTube. That'd be kind of interesting, but you can share in the different Facebook groups that we're in. But we'll get started here in a second. Yin Yang's watching on YouTube. How many things you got open, Yin Yang? Karen Easton, good morning to you. Where are you watching from? Lost everything. Wow. Jeez. Sarah, you were doing good with me. What happened? Watch it from Florida's in the house. Yay. So not to get political. I'm not political. But Trump had got hit with like a $83 million judgment. Like, damn. Vince McMahon got hit with a accusation, and now he's resigned. It's like all these people, like getting knocked down. Man, okay, I'm curious to know, how do you share on YouTube? Is that possible to do a share? I don't know. All right. Ooh, Richmond Rosenberg, right outside of Houston. Nice. I'm in Houston. Hope you guys do good. What's been your biggest takeaway from the past 26 days? I'll be honest with you, yesterday I was a little hungover. It's pretty bad. We had the going away party at the end of the mastermind, and it was hurting. I was hurting, but at least, I was really hurting for my paid group because I go live in my paid group earlier. At least I had a chance to drink some coffee and shower for you guys. Today, I feel great. Yes, you can share on YouTube. That's amazing. Thank you. Did not know that. Get some more people in here. Eileen Martell. Hello. Oh, no. YouTube every single day. There you go, girl. You can do this. Okay. Eileen says, working toward my goals will bring me growth. That's it. That's all you got, man. It's your life, right? That's your life. We got 1 minute to get 60 more people in here. Let's roll. How the heck are you? What have been your big takeaways from the last 26 days? Remember, you're not average. That's the goal. Hey, check out the shirt. I designed this shirt. It was supposed to be kind of like a 70s look to it. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. What do you think? Good morning, Groot. Groot. It's a one time shirt, although I think I could have done it as a line of shirts. I think people would love it. Lori Bloom, don't be average, and dairy is pus water. It is pus water. Yep. I remember a joke in residency. Someone would come in with an infection in their foot or somewhere, or in their groin or whatever, and they would say it was really pussy, and we would go, "How do you spell that?" It makes everybody like, okay, how do you spell pussy, everybody? If your wound is really pussy, we go, how do you spell that? And everyone goes, Puss. Oh yeah, I know. We have terrible senses of humors. At least Shelly thinks it's funny. That's good. Good job, Shelly. I know. And Tom, good morning. Thank you for hitting share, everybody. Let's get some people in here. Nice try, Yin Yang. I don't think that's how you spell pussy. Perhaps for such a time as this, it is quite the undertaking. All right, we're going to keep this nice and short. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on in. Dr. Duck Vong here, world famous bariatric surgeon, author of 13 books and 5 journals. We've been spending the month journaling. You can get yourself a journal. You can get my Curves of Confidence journal. That's in my Amazon store. I've got a dog themed journal. I've got a cat themed journal. Y'all gave me a great idea of coming up with a car themed journal for men. So I might do that. And you can also grab a journal like this. These are very affordable. They're usually, when you're checking out of like Marshalls, they have these awesome journals like this. This is one of my first journals. Be bold, take risks, live life freely. So nice to write in. You could get an expensive journal like this, productivity journal using the Pomodoro method, or you can have a dollar journal. You can just grab pieces of paper, and all you're gonna do is write, I am grateful and thankful for blank. So real quick, what are you grateful and thankful for? And remember, when you write, I am grateful and thankful for blank, the blank is something you have in your life now, but really you want it in the future, but you write it like present tense. So let's say you have $1,000 in your bank account. You want $10,000 in your bank account. You say, I'm grateful and thankful for $10,000 in my bank account today. And you write it like you have it in the present tense. And that's how your life changes. So if you're wanting to lose weight, don't say, I'm grateful and thankful, for weight loss, or say, let's say you weigh 200. Let's say you weigh 220. You say, I'm grateful and thankful I weigh 199. So now you're in Wonderland. Does that make sense? 199. Yep. 26th day, man. Today's number 27. I've gone live every single day. Tony Holland. You can go back and watch the replays. Good morning, everybody. So what are you grateful and thankful for, everybody? I want to teach you guys a lesson today. This is an Abraham Hicks video. If you don't know Abraham Hicks, lady started hearing voices, and it's a collection of voices that's called Abraham. So Esther and Jerry Hicks, and Jerry's made the transition, by the way, to the other dimensions. I think he transitioned maybe 10 years ago. Someone can look that up. So Esther's still around. So Esther, this was way back in like the 70s, started hearing this collection of voices. And she doesn't hear them. She hears them, but she kind of becomes them. Like, she calls them up, and they offer an interesting perspective on the world. There's a few things you should know. There's a vortex. Inside the vortex is all creation. You can have anything you want. It is the power of creation. It is creation itself. It is the source that we come from. That's number 2. She calls it a source energy, vibrations. And I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version. But basically, you need to work on feeling good all the time. So the collection of beings, of super intelligent, all-knowing beings, go by the name Abraham, which I think is pretty dang cute. So her channel, she's on as Abraham Hicks. And we studied this one video that somebody made on YouTube, which is a recording of Abraham Hicks talking about um, how everything's always working out for me. And we revisit this video in my paid group pretty regularly. And it's a reminder that you have to hold this, right? So if I had to teach you, if you guys never say, F you, Dr. V, like you never watch another live from me again, I want you to start. There are two things, right? That for 2024, write this down. Here, let me write these down for you. And I write in all caps because they stand out. It stands out. Okay, so the number one thing, the premise of this whole year of these whole lives is that you decide I am not average, and you have to make that like every single day, I am not average. In America, average means being overweight, and it's okay if you're overweight now, right? Colleen and I have talked about this. Like, it's okay. You just got to decide I'm not average, so I'm not going to stay overweight. Average Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. You decide I am not going to keep living paycheck to paycheck. 60% of Americans have been divorced. You decide I'm not going to be average. I'm going to work on my marriage or my relationship or my significant other. Or I'm going to work, let's say you're single. I'm going to work on myself and thereby attract the partner I want, whether it's male, female. I seriously don't. I have a preference. And then 80% of Americans are disengaged in work. So all this whole thing about, oh yeah, I like my job. I love my job. It's bullshit. It's a lie. They are lying. Like, do you really? No. Because would you do your job for free? Oh, hell no. See, so you're only really at your job, average Americans, because they pay you and you need it. So you have to hold on to this. I am not average every single day. Okay. So then the second big thing I'll teach y'all, and this is kind of interesting, right? Because when my very first and second days, I had like almost 200 people on all the different channels. And then for most of the month, I've had 100 people. And today I'm at 60. So we'll see. So I'm going to teach you the second thing that you need to know. And if you can like just maintain these two, let's call them mantras or sayings or quotes or descriptors, then your life will change. I promise you. Everything is always working out for me. Everything. Carmen Smith, what's up, girl? Everything is always working out for me. Maintain these two mantras. I am not average, and everything is always working out for me. And if you think about this is the opposite of what average people say. Am I right? Don't average people go, oh my God, can you believe what they did to me? Can you believe this happened again to me? I got another flat tire. I got stuck in traffic again. Someone broke into my car again. This is New Mexico. For all my New Mexico friends. And if you're in New Mexico, you know what I'm talking about. They broke into my car again. Dude, I wouldn't move. Why don't you move? My bills are due again. I overspent again. I woke up in a stranger's bed again. Like, oh my God, stop that. So this idea that everything is always working out for me, because the average person, things don't work out for them. Am I right? They are so close to winning the bet, but the parlay, they missed the parlay. They were just one number off. They were almost there, but the gas tank fell out. Like ran out or fell out. Right? So everything's always working out for me. Average people, nothing seems to work out for them. They almost got the promotion, but they didn't. They almost moved, but they didn't. Carolyn Mize, a different video that we watched, she calls it the chronic chronicness. You're almost happy, but not quite. Almost in love, but you take a couple of aspirins and it goes away. The chronic chronicness. My my journal, these journals that I wrote, uh, it's under a website I own, a domain called sweetmundane.com, and it comes from a video where Oprah Winfrey is interviewing Alanis Morissette, the singer, who's making a comeback. By the way, she's doing a tour now, and she disappeared from the limelight. Alanis Morissette in the '90s was like the biggest. She was like the '90s version of Taylor Swift. She was huge, and everybody loved her, and she could not go anywhere. Her fame was like through the roof. She said some point, at one point, she had fans running at her with, because she's known for her beautiful hair. Like, fans were running at her with scissors trying to cut a piece of hair, a lock of her hair. But when a stranger's running at you with scissors, you don't know if they're stabbing you or what they're doing. So it really freaked her out. And this was happening a lot. Her security detail was on point. Remember Monica Seles, the tennis player, female tennis player? She was playing tennis at a tennis tournament, and remember that fan stabbed her between her shoulder blades? She was never the same after that. Even after she healed, I mean, she just could not get back on her mindset, her championship level. So it was really bizarre. Anyway, she's doing this interview with Oprah Winfrey. She's done a couple, but the one I'm talking about, she was talking about how it was just so crazy and hectic, and she just wanted normalcy. She wanted the every day, the sweet mundane. And I was like, wow, the sweet mundane. Mundane means boring or common, just the sweet mundane. And so, um, so I went to Google, to GoDaddy, and I looked it up, and sweetmundane.com was not taken. I was like, how's that not taken? So I bought it, and I had it for a couple years, several years, and I didn't do anything about it, and then do anything with it. And then I was decided to create these journals, and I was like, what will I name them? I was like, I don't, I just do the sweet mundane series. So like, you kind of want your journaling to become sweet and mundane every single day. Every single day you want to journal. So um, that's where that term comes from. And Abraham Hicks says everything's always working out for me. And if you can, so when things go wrong, if you do this mantra, it kind of does this reset. It does this reset in your brain about, I don't need to get bugged and bothered, right? I don't need to get bugged and bothered by this temporary thing. Comment if you've had anything upset you recently. Maybe your boss demoted you. Maybe your coworker left a bunch of work on your desk before going on vacation. Maybe your teenage son is moving back in with you, or your daughter's getting a divorce, or day 26. Come on. Um, what else? Your husband left the toilet seat out or forgot to take out the garbage. Your significant other spent too much on the credit card, or bought something you didn't realize or y'all didn't agree to. What has happened to you lately? Maybe you didn't get the promotion. Maybe you didn't get into the first school of your choice or the program of your choice. Tip number 3. Sorry. Here we go. Finally. Had an interview, didn't get the promotion. Recently diagnosed with tinnitus. I have it really bad now too. It's gotten kind of crazy. Put in the comment section, like, what has happened to you recently? Oh, here we go. A neighbor has begun to allow his loud truck to idle for 30 minutes every night at midnight. Holy crap! Why midnight? Is he going somewhere? I could see you doing that in the morning. Is it? Do you live in a cold temperature place and his truck is outside and he has to run it to warm up the engine so nothing blows? My radiator, my Jeep, I need a new radiator. That'd be horrible. Diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Anton, that is serious. That is serious, brother. Hands tingle and numb and trigger fingers on the left hand. See? Ooh, bad stuff. So, I want you to remember this. It's not to dismiss anything that anyone's going through, but you have survived 100% of your bad days. You got to remember that. You have survived 100% of your bad days. Have you had a bad day? Have you had a bad day where you get some bad news? Iron deficiency and getting numerous iron infusions. Oh, that's horrible. Do you have a gastric bypass, Barb? That happens, or heavy bleeding, or heavy menstrual cycles. I can do it too. Maybe you heard cancer diagnosis. Maybe you heard that your grandmother fell and broke her hip. Maybe you heard that the company has layoffs, is laying people off. You have survived 100% of your bad days. And I was having a bad day one time. And this was a couple of years ago when I was going to go buy my ranch, which, by the way, is for sale. And I had made an offer on a 170-acre ranch with this I-beam building that was mostly shelled out, but it was still a shell. It had 300 feet of riverfront, and the widest part of the river was maybe 8 feet wide. I'd have to run pretty hard to jump across it if I really wanted to, but it was beautiful. We loved it. I'd never owned land before, and it was $650,000, and we negotiated down, and something around 600,000. And I was asking for information on the property, and I was not getting any feedback. Like, I wasn't, like, they were just dragging their feet on responses and surveys and stuff, and I was like getting a weird feeling about it. So I backed away from that, and I had a few investors already lined up, and I had to call them to tell them that I was walking away from this project. And I called my mentor, Greg Reed, and I said, bro, this is what happened. I don't know what to do. I told these investors that I was going to buy this little ranch, and now I've decided to walk away from it because something doesn't feel right. He's like, you got to trust your instinct. And I said, but what are they going to think about me? They're going to think I'm a flake or something. And he said, Doc, have you forgotten about your 100% win rate? And I said, what? What do you mean? He goes, dude, you've had a 100% win rate. You win at everything you do. I said, thank you so much, brother. That's all I needed to hear. I'd forgotten that I have a 100% win rate. Graduated high school, top of my class, got to the first choice of college, Rice University, got to my first choice of med school, Texas A&M, got to my first choice of residency here in Houston, got my first choice of jobs, survived my bankruptcy, survived, got my job in Albuquerque in 2006, in 2013, moved to Albuquerque. In 2016, I was voted the #1 doctor in all of New Mexico by patients. Not subspecialty, not surgeon, not dermatologist who only works on the face, not a subset. If you had a doctor degree behind your name, I was voted the #1 doctor in all of New Mexico in 2016. So he said, do you forgot you have a 100% win rate? I said, wow, yes. I remember when that happened, but it's not your house anymore, Colleen. You sold it. It's their house. I know that's hard to accept, but it's the truth. And they wanted to scrape it. They want to scrape it. You got your asking price or something like that. That's what you got. That's unusual to have a sleeve and need infusions. That's pretty crazy. Lost 90 pounds. Awesome. Yes, you have, Suzanne. Yeah. Oof. That's Dolores. Pin's just hurting most days, man. I tell you, you gotta talk to your doctor about that one. Sometimes neuropathy, you've already done the damage, you know. So if you that's actually a good one, Dolores, which is like if you sit there and think about like, hey Erica, can you come? Can you go upstairs for a second? Um. So, I forgot my train of thought. So if you kind of, oh, I know. Okay. So number, here we go. Okay, man. I remember when you told us about getting the ranch and when you showed the photos, beautiful. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you. I forgot. So I said to my mentor, thank you very much. And I called all my investors. I had like 4 or 5 lined up. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm walking away from this deal. And a week later, I found literally a ranch that was 10 times the size. Instead of 170 acres, I went to 1,670 acres. So I 10x'd it. Instead of 300 feet of river, I got 2 miles of river. And instead of 8 feet wide, there are areas of my river that are 100 feet wide. That's like from me to that house across the street. Like it's crazy wide, 8 feet deep river. So, and it was way over what I thought I could pay for it. But I did it, paid for it. You know what I mean? Scored, win. I loved it for the last 2 years, 2.5 years. Like we're doing great, you know? So everything's always working out for me. You got to remember that. You survive 100% of your bad days. Now, let me help you. What you want to do is this. Aw, love you too. Very good. I remember when you changed the ranch. Yeah, it's been good. We're going to make a lot of money, make a good return. So when you feel this feeling, here's the last thing you want to do. Oh, we got 82 people. You want to sit with the discomfort. Sit with the discomfort. Yeah, you are better than your worst days for sure. What happens is average people, and you're not average, want to lash out. They want to yell. They want to blame. Do you know what they did to me? Can you believe this happened to me? He told me he wasn't married. He told me they were getting divorced. I can't believe it. I fell for it again. There are no good men left in this world. There are no good girls left in this world. Can you believe this happened? Or I have to get this iron infusion, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if in case you're joining me late, you know, last month I almost died. I was in the hospital. I had a gastrointestinal bleed. I had a diverticular bleed, and I was sitting in the ER waiting on my CAT scan results. And the ER doctor comes in and says, "Well, there's no active bleeding." I said, "My dad died of at 65 of colon cancer, and by the time they diagnosed it, it was already metastatic. And in 9 months, he went from strong as a horse to dead, you know." And so I was sitting there thinking, like, man, could this be of my colon cancer? I had never had a colonoscopy, and I said, it's not a cancer?" And she goes, "No, I don't think so, but there is one area that the radiologist said they weren't sure about." I was like, "Why did you tell me that? You should have just said no." And so then the internist came and said, "CAT scan looks okay." And I said, "No cancer?" And he's like, "Oh, no, no." And I was like, the ER doctor. Anyway, so they scoped me. I ended up having to do a bowel prep. So I have to sit there and wait for the CT scan results. And then I have to wait to talk to the GI doctor. And then I have to wait. And every doctor I talked to, the internist, the GI doctor, I had to them, no masses, no masses. And then the definitive treatment is to do a colonoscopy. So I'm sitting, and if anyone's had a colonoscopy, the bowel prep, it's not the funnest thing. But I was sitting there thinking about it, and it was like every 5 minutes, boy, I was on that toilet, just scary at first because it was, well, average people would say it was scary, but as the blood was coming out, I could see I had stopped bleeding because it was like it quit being bloody. And I got my 2 units of blood. My hemoglobin was down to 7, and I had fainted because I was waiting to meet admission criteria. And Then I got the colonoscopy, and I don't remember. And maybe the GI doctor talked to me. Maybe he didn't. I just remember not. I don't remember him talking to me. But I saw the report. I read it. No mass, no cancer, diverticular bleed, and I was like, "Oh my god, thank you." But leading up to that, I was worried I had colon cancer, and I have a 9-month-old baby. And I was like, what if, Mason's 7.5? What if all I have is 9 months left with him, like my dad? What would I do? You know? So that's what motivated this daily live. I said, I've been ignoring my fan page. I don't know what to say. COVID's over. There's nothing else. 1.5 million Americans died. 19 million Chinese died. The fact that the Chinese Communist Party has admitted that 19 million Chinese died, and they locked the shit out of that, which makes me weird that everyone thinks COVID, like that there are still people that think that COVID was a hoax. But I say that there are people who think that the Earth is flat. There are people who think that we never went to the moon. I was like, do you really think that? So, um, so I started thinking about it. Like, okay, uh, I'm not. Am I done? Am I done yet? Like, no. I've got more to give, more to do. You know what I mean? Like, I have more to tell people. I need to, and I've gone almost 4 years live every single day in my paid group, and I've got 500 videos on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff for me, about me. I've got 13 books, 5 journals. There's a lot that my daughters can learn about me if something were to happen to me. They'd probably be like, Daddy cusses a lot." So, um, it was funny. I know. Oh, that's horrible. So that's why we're doing this now, because so 31 days. And then Eric and I were talking, and it was like, we love our lives, but we live in Houston, and we go to lunch every day. But Milani's only 9 months, and we don't have any family here, so we can't really like run off and leave. And even if we wanted date night, I have to hire a babysitter. If we wanted to go travel, I'd have to either drop her off in Albuquerque with her nana, or fly her grandmother here to watch her or something like that. So Erica found this bed and breakfast in the Santa Fe Mountains, up in the Pecos Mountains, in the National Santa Fe National Forest. It's 10 acres, three structures, 4 ponds. The land is 10 acres, but it's in the middle of the Santa Fe National Forest, which is 1.6 million acres. So my backyard is 1.6 million acres. The Pecos River is a 5-minute walk right down the street, which is closer than the river at my ranch. That's 150 feet down into the canyon, which is breathtakingly beautiful. So I said, honey, like, why do we stay in Houston? Why don't we just go? Why don't we go live at the bed and breakfast and run it? You know what I mean? Why don't we go run it? So we decided we would do it. So I'm going to raise $2 million. I'm offering 20%. Anyone wants to lock down the deal? $25,000 minimum increments for 6 months, 20% interest only. Then you can either stay in at 15%, or I can cash you out. Originally, I was going to say 18%, but I've decided to make it 20% because I want to lock down this deal. And we're going to move there, and we're going to run it. I'm going to rehab it. There's some remodeling that's got to happen. And I'm going to bring my dogs there, and chickens and turkeys and ducks. There are ponds there, so I can throw in a little, some ducks. Yeah, if you know anyone, Colleen, if you'd like to come on in at 20, let me know. 20%. And we're going to move there and live there. And because for the next 4 years until Milani goes to kindergarten or pre-K, we can't really do anything, right? At least if we move to Santa Fe, we have family within an hour, so we can schedule them to come take care of the kids, run the bed and breakfast while we go for a date night, or we go out for, a secret knock, or to an event or something like that, right? So If you know anyone, let me know. So this is radically a different lifestyle mindset. And for some people, they might be afraid, like to leave Bel Air to live up in the mountains. And I started thinking about it. I was like, I live in the middle of Houston, right? Beautiful city, Bel Air. And we have these huge mansions all around us. But like, we don't really talk to our neighbors much. And even though one of Mason's classmates is right behind us, a block away, and we don't really go out there, play with them, or have play dates. So I was like, even if we move to the mountains, like now Mason suddenly has cousins to play with and other little kids to play with, and aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews. And then Erica was like, you know what? They're looking for substitute teachers. I'll just get my degree and go substitute teach in Santa Fe, and we'll work it out, right? So what we do is we sit with this discomfort, right? And we sit with this discomfort every day. Everything's always working out for me. We're going to survive 100% of our best days. And that's how you get the courage. Oh, Dr. V, that's so brave. I'm too scared. I'd be too nervous. I can't do it, right? If I go up there, Carmen, come on, bring the baby. I'm going to see you again, Rosemary. And so, like, we're stuck on the mountains anyway. Like, we can't really go. So, with the baby, so it's basically a 4-year plan. And then at the end of 4 years, hopefully we will have a property manager. Hopefully it's running. And then we love Santa Fe. We can move into the Santa Fe proper. We can sell. We can cash out our investors. We can do whatever. We can keep the property. It could become our family compound. Who knows what 4 years will be like, you know? So you got to work through this stuff, and you got to whiteboard through this stuff, and you got to like write down in your journal, and you got to do your goal setting. You got to think about these things. You can't just sit there paralyzed. It was just what average people do. They'll just sit there paralyzed, right? And they won't do anything about it. So I want to see you again, Cecilia. I know who you are. That's awesome. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And so yeah, if you know anyone who wants to lend some money, 20%, and it's backed by the real estate, you know, you'll be in first position, proportionate to the $2 million raise. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell y'all today. It's this mantra. Everything is always working out for me. As you go through this Saturday, I want you to just remember that I'm not average, and everything is always working out for me. And if somebody, like, if you're nervous, you can go, you know, average people would be like, oh no, I couldn't do that. I'm too scared. I don't have any friends, family. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to do that. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what you need to do. Right? Don't do what average people do. Do the opposite of what average people do. Oh, Eileen, yay. Lend me some money, Eileen. You'll be great. You'll have a place to stay in the mountains, Eileen. And it's gorgeous, and we're on grid. We have power and toilets and showers. You know, thank you, Lori. If you want to lend, Christine, let me know. Just send me a message. And then, so I'm not average, right? Is number one. Number two, everything's always working out for me. So if I don't do what average people do the opposite. And if I hold this belief that everything works out for me, right? And then you sit with the discomfort, because it's the discomfort. See, average people react right away. They react right away. And they're like, I gotta, like, I can't do it. I don't like this feeling. I can't, I need a snack. I need a drink. I need to do, And what you want to do is do the opposite, which is you want to sit. You got to come, Colleen. It's going to be great. You got to sit with the discomfort. And that's when you're sitting still, that's when the answers come to you. That's when, you know, people start doing it. It will change your whole day 100%. Wow, we made 100 people. Very good. Have a great, amazing day, day 27. If you found value from this broadcast, please hit the share button right now. I'd appreciate that. The like button. Apparently, you can hit share on YouTube. I did not know that, but please hit share. And not your friend share, not Sunny share, but the share button. And hit like, hit subscribe. As always, I will try to edit these down, put these up as a series. And love y'all very much. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 28 of 31. We'll be